Can you
not gonna give you.
can you stay categorical?
You are fake news,
Sir,
Go ahead.
can you
2 cents. Hello to my blue friends. Get another spinning and they call it revolution. Loose lips, fatter than a new tits. Glass nigga think it's ruthless. Deuces, 2 cents.
Okay, hopefully this works this time. Trying something new here, so please bear with me. This is signal scroll there, Kitty needs help. No. Just I'm attempting something new. I'm trying to use Stream Elements and StreamYard at the same time. As you can see, I think you guys can see. I hope you guys can see. Let's see. Yeah, as you can see the little tip thing there and all that good stuff. So yeah, I'm trying to incorporate some cool stuff on here. But I was having issues bringing up the chat. So let's see if it works. Yep, there it shows me chatting. Good. So, hey, Squirrel Girl's a straight up badass. So let's not talk too much shit about Squirrel Girl. She kicked Thanos' ass. That's for sure. So I'll go ahead and add the link for anyone that wants to come on up. Yeah, just thought I'd do a little open panel. See what's going on here. Yeah. So how's everyone doing? Hope everyone's doing pretty good today. What's up, Stuck? Yeah, I'm new to this, man. This is new. Um, I like the little elements they have in Stream Elements. It's pretty cool. Streamlabs. I'm sorry, Streamlabs. It's got some cool stuff. So, what's up, Gary?
What's up, man?
Not
Have you
much.
figured it out?
I think so. Can you see the little um the beer glass in the corner or no?
Beer glass in the right-hand corner?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see a little symbol up there, whatever that is.
Okay, yeah. Cool, good. Just making sure people can see it. I wasn't quite sure if it was working or whatnot. Last time I tried this, it didn't work. But then I realized you have to pay for the service before it starts. Well, fuck you too then. Always got to pay for shit. Okay, why can't shit be free? What happened to free? What happened to free, Gary? What happened to free? Why can't I go down and get a penny candy anymore? Why can't I go get a nickel candy? I remember I used to get those little home run pies for like a quarter. They want like a buck something for them now. I'm like, are you kidding me?
I was just saying, you can still get nickel candy, but it costs $1.50.
Oh, it's chilly morning for you, Grumpy. Well, Grumpy Dropper, I like that name. Left hand corner. I say, okay, so well, good. Well, it's there. So that's a little, and then there should be like up in the upper left hand corner, it's like a stream boss. I'm not sure how it works. I'll have to look more into it. And yeah, so yeah, I just thought I'd come on, test this stuff out, see how it goes. Oh, and when someone subscribes, it should show up too. So
we're guinea pigs.
yeah, unfortunately, you're guinea pigs because I figured I didn't want to do
Okay.
this. I didn't want to roll this out on the Sunday show, so I thought I'd just do this today just to see what's going on. Something not too.
Okay, I checked the chat and it's not showing up.
Not in StreamYard, no, because I'm not running this through StreamYard. I'm running this on Streamlabs, OBS. I'm just using the Streamlabs so I can have more than one guest, so it's not just me up here gabbing to myself.
Okay.
So if you want to see the chat, you're going to need to open up the actual live stream on your phone or whatever in another window.
Yeah.
I had to do the
Well,
same thing. That was my issue because it wasn't like it on Streamlabs. It showed up, but it wouldn't let me sign in. So you need to sign in. I'm like, what do you mean? I'm signed in on Streamlabs. It made me open up a whole new window. That's why I stopped it earlier and I had to come back. And now I figured it out. I think everything's golden now. I could be wrong. I'm gonna go ahead and put this link back up. I wonder if I can. Let's see, because Streamlabs. Oh look, I think I can do it. Let's see. Oh wow, you can create a QR code for this page. That's kind of cool. I don't know what a QR code is, but hey, I can do it.
I got one now.
Right? I don't know what that shit is, but motherfucker, I can do it if I want to. Oh, I think a QR code is one of those really weird freaking looking code things that I guess you could scan on your phone. I'm not sure. Rodney, what's up? I never.
Hello.
How are you doing?
Yeah, you're the fucking faggot, mate.
Oh, I am. All right.
Yeah. I'm gonna bum you.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I think Gary likes that more thing than I. I don't really like that sort of thing.
No, I just like
Come
to
on,
watch.
Gary. Come
Not a
on,
fan.
Gary. Show your face, Gary.
Hello, Rodney Trotter.
Show your face, man.
Oh, okay.
Come on.
You go what now?
Come on. Show your face.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah.
What's up, Richard?
Hey, well, it's bad when you're the Satan influence in the bunch.
Yeah. Right. Well, that was interesting, Rodney.
That was new, wasn't it? That
was new.
That was a new one.
Yeah. Right.
Right. I don't know. Isn't he right, Baker? Teddy Krueger is kind of cool, huh? Right. I like this one. I think this is a pretty cool one.
Yep, it's cool.
I like that one too. Screen is a bit blurry than usual. Yeah. See, I don't know. Like I said, I'm trying something new. If it doesn't work out too well, I just won't do it. Yeah. See, QR codes look like the Rorschach pattern. See, I was right. Ha. See, I do know a little bit about QR codes. I don't use them. I don't know how to use them. I think, like I said, I think you scan them on your phone. I don't know. See, call me old-fashioned. If something, let me just enter it in the keyboard, or if I'm feeling lazy, let me use speak to text. That doesn't always work, but call me lazy with that type of thing. Hey, quick! Someone unsubscribe and then resubscribe. Let's see if this fucking thing works.
No. You're going to throw us out in the quantum somewhere.
Well, I know why. It's just going to trigger some sort of thing. We're going to end up on Hello Kitty Klein TV. Welcome to hell. Watch. Someone's going to do it. It's just going to mess everything
We're
all
going to
up.
end up in the deep state.
Oh, man.
That's actually, you ever seen that movie, Red State? That's a good movie.
Red state?
Red State. It's a Kevin Smith. It's a Kevin Smith horror movie. Actually, really, really, really good.
Nah.
Okay.
Really good movie. You should check it out. So, I love horror movies. If you haven't tell by all the pictures I use, yeah, I love horror. So yeah, that's my thing.
Well, I like horror films myself. I don't like the slasher movies. I think they're just dumb.
They can be dumb. I'll agree with you on that one. But come on, they're funny. I mean, come on. Think about that scene where I think it was in Jason X, where he's like, they sent him in this hologram. There's these two chicks. They're like, we're gonna have unprotected sex. And Jason's just walking through. He turns, looks at him. Next thing you know, he's got him in the sleeping bag, just banging him against the trees. That was freaking hilarious.
Yeah, that was funny.
That was really funny. We're gonna engage in premarital sex. And they got killed. That was so funny. What's up, Kat? Welcome. I think I can mess with people's. Yeah, no, it just says create a QR code for this page. See, what good would a QR code do me, though? I don't think a QR code would really do me all that good right now,
No, I don't think
Sure ain't
so.
doing me any good.
It doesn't do me any good. So what's new with you guys, Gary? What's new in the frauding world? I haven't really been paying too much attention. How's Glenn doing? What's he up to?
Glenn, he's being an asshole. I saw one this morning where an officer was in a blood bank or something, doctor's office of some sort, but he left his dog, his canine out in the car, and Glenn was out there complaining about it.
Oh, wow. Freaking Glenn.
Yeah.
Glenn is he's just a real idiot, and I've noticed he's been doing a lot of the guard trucks, the money trucks. He's been doing that a lot.
Yeah, Brinks. Yeah, the Brinks, yeah.
And I wonder what's his issue with there. Like, what happened? Did they Did he apply for a job and they told him no? Maybe.
I don't know, but that's a good way to get shot.
Oh, easily.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He thinks it's an easy prey, but I don't think so.
Oh, it can if someone restreams you or if multiple people are watching one stream to locate you easier. What's up, Paul? Welcome. I hope you're feeling better, brother. Hope you're feeling better. Haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you on the stream, though. I have been catching your comments on videos, though. Thank you for that. Surreal's filming armored trucks crews restocking AT&T. He's just an idiot, man. That's like the stupidest thing. I don't understand how that teaches anyone anything. Except, because they're all those people are already on guard because they got money. They're trained to notice their surroundings, to be very wary of all this. So of course they're going to react if you're standing there filming. Now, of course they are. It's a given.
Yep.
It's an absolute given. So, and that's why he does it, so he can get the reactions. And his people are like, oh, look at him, they're sending us with a man with a camera. If I was that company, I'd be like, bravo, sir, bravo. That's our money. Don't fuck around with it.
Yep.
What's up, Susan? What's up, Denise? Ian, welcome. So yeah. So damn, no. So anyone. So quick, someone, come on, do the unsubscribe and then subscribe. Let's see if this thing works. Let's see. I can add other stuff to it. Let's see. What else can I do? Oh, look, I can do instant replay. That's pretty cool, huh? Huh? Hey, you can spin the wheel.
I want to see what the chat's saying.
You gotta open up a new thing, man. I'm sorry, brother. You gotta open up a new thing.
A new thing.
Hey, what's up, Laura?
Like
how are you?
Zipper?
No, you gotta open up a new. You gotta open up a new chat window. New window. You're gonna have to. You can't watch it like normal. You're gonna have to watch it through YouTube in order to see the chat. That's what I have to do. It's really annoying. It's a little annoying, but I like the little widgets I have. So I don't know. I might keep this way, but it is a little bit more effort to do a stream. I don't like that. I'm pretty lazy. So
Just a bit.
yeah, so I'm not a fan of that. But other than that, it's not bad. There we go. And every time I get off of try and go, I have to have I have 3 screens going up, right? And it's kind of annoying because every time I go off one, watch. Like if I do this, see, my picture disappears.
No, it doesn't.
You don't see the little teddy anymore? You do?
I see the teddy.
Oh,
Yeah, I'd see him.
Well, of course you do. You guys aren't on YouTube. Now, on YouTube, you probably don't see the teddy. That makes sense. You guys are on StreamYard. Of course you see the teddy. But I don't think everyone sees it. The other week. Oh, it's okay, Laura. No worries. Anyway, so I'm going to bring it back.
Kenny, are you familiar with the phrase, if it ain't broke, don't fix it?
I am familiar with that, but I thought this would make the chat more interactive. It'd make things a little bit more fun for people in chat instead of just hearing us drone on and on and on. They have pretty things to look at on the screen. See, little beer mug, pretty cool. Yeah, see, picture has gone here. See, there it is. See, it's back now. So yeah, see, if you're in the chat, it did go.
Okay.
Where did Eddie go? Who's Eddie? I don't know where Eddie is. But yeah, so it's gonna make it a little bit more difficult to show videos, unfortunately. So I don't know. I might keep it. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, see, people in chat, and they're really far behind too. I've noticed. There's a delay. There's a big delay. See, they're talking about the teddy still. Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, see, the beer. He does have a beer. It's awesome. Yeah, so question, guys. What auditors would you guys like me to cover a little bit more? Trying to look for some other stuff. Like, who would you like to see, Richard?
I'd like to see Indie News Now. And yeah, and Hoosier News Now, because we're both operating in my hometown, and I'm going to have to find them.
All right. What you, Gary?
Oh, there's just too many to pick from.
Yeah, I know. I had to get rid of that one. I didn't realize how one was going. When I tried to go live to start, it showed it. I'm like, oh look, this one's live. Tried to get rid of it. I dropped it down because didn't realize it started it. That's another see, this is just a lot of issues in this one. I'll figure it out. I'm gonna try something. I'm gonna go on a dummy account and I'm gonna subscribe to myself and see if it works. There's no one else to do it. No one wants to help.
Which one of the fraudsters are you going to use? They're all dummies.
I know, right? All right, let's see. Switching to unsubscribe. Subscribe. Did it work? Not seeing anything.
Well, speaking of subscribe, while you're looking for that, everybody needs to like, subscribe, share. And if you're that moved like I was, go ahead and join this channel.
No, it didn't work. What the hell? That's so weird. Oh, someone's trying to come on. What's up, Paul?
Hey there. I can't stay long, but I wanted to say thank you for the well wishes. I actually did end up contracting COVID, which was touch and go for a while. I still don't have taste or smell yet, which I'll tell you I'm having way too much fun with. I mean, things are cheaper if you want to get a fancy cup of coffee, because I do like my fancy cups of coffee, but I just get plain coffee and like a couple sweeteners and a sugar, and it's like, hey, it's a latte to me.
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, it's not working. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out another time. Yeah, I heard Omaha was arrested again. Surprise, surprise, right?
Yeah.
With Omaha, it's just a matter of time before he does. I'm assuming he's giving up his dreams of running for mayor. I haven't heard anything more from it.
Oh no!
I know.
I was hoping he'd get it.
Were you gonna vote for him? Were you gonna say, hey, I live here and I'm gonna go to Omaha and vote for him? Just to vote for Omaha? Is that what you're gonna do, Gary?
I was going to move. Yeah, I was going to move up there.
I was going to move for like one day.
Paul, you know what you should do before your sense of taste comes back? You should start your own YouTube channel about this guy will eat anything and not even react. Eat the most disgusting, vile crap you can find, and just like with a straight face. People be like, holy shit, what is this dude doing?
Well, I will say there is one thing I discovered, because I love to cook, and I was making. What was I making? I was making a roast, and I used olive oil on the base of the pan. However, the pan was way too low. Mm-hmm. So the oil spilled out to the bottom of the broiler. Next thing I look over my stove and smoke is pouring out of it. So I flip out and I go ahead and turn off the stove. I pull everything out and I'm trying to wipe up the stuff. Everybody in the house is choking and coughing. And I noticed something. I didn't taste any of it. So all that smoke and all that acrid flavor, I wasn't smelling it and I wasn't dealing with it. So everybody else was coughing and we're choked up, but I had no sense of that whatsoever. So it led me to believe, I'm thankful that, I noticed this because if I wouldn't have looked at the stove, I wouldn't have even seen the smoke pouring out.
Oh, wow.
Man.
Jeez. Man, well, I'm glad you're starting to feel better, though. That's good.
Oh, yeah, it is. They said that my taste would be gone for 4 to 6 weeks. I'm kind of coming up on the 5th week, and I feel like I'm getting a little bit of taste back. Real strong things like peppers or anything like that, I'm actually tasting a little bit of that flavor. So it's got to be real like extreme and overly flavored for me to start tasting things. Sense of smell though, still nothing.
So what are you gonna do? What's the first thing you're gonna eat when you get your sense of taste back?
Ice cream.
What flavor?
Anything I can get my hands on, honestly. My favorite, of course, being peanut butter and chocolate, but definitely ice cream.
Yeah, that'll be a good one. Damn, that must be a pain. You feel all the cold and then not taste the goodness of the ice cream. Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I loved, and again, I like to cook, so I do a lot of steaks. I do a lot of salmon.
oh
I
yeah.
make guacamole from scratch.
Oh,
I do a lot of chili and things like that. And I mean, for me, it's hard for me because I cook by taste.
right.
And so I know that my quality of cooking for those in the household is definitely diminished because I can't taste it. So it's like every 5 minutes, I'm like, hey, come here, taste this. How's it
Right.
taste to you? Oh, it tastes fine to me. Okay, great. And I add a little bit more just in case, you know. So I mean, it's difficult for me. But again, like I said, when I'm making something simple for myself, I mean, it's weird because I just never in my life ever thought I'd ever lose the sense of taste and smell, and it's just a really awkward ability, you know. And it's almost like a superpower because I will say I did try ghost peppers, and I didn't taste a single thing about it, but I did feel the burn in my throat. And I will say you do have to remember to wash your hands because even though you can't taste it, it's still on your fingers. So, but yeah, I mean, you can feel the burn, but you can't taste the flavor at all. So it kind of diminished it a little bit. But things like green peppers, bell peppers, ice cream, even, I mean, every ice cream just tastes like nothing. It just tastes like warm liquid. And water, soda tastes like, I mean, it tastes like water. It just has no flavor whatsoever. So, I mean, if I did a taste test and people put an orange soda in front of me and it was actually urine, I probably wouldn't notice the difference.
I get like that during the springtime. My allergies get like really, really bad, like all
Right.
springtime. So I'm like, it's miserable. And so I get you, and it sucks.
Oh yeah, and even then, like when you have allergies, you still have that little bit of like that copperish flavor,
Yeah,
I guess,
yeah, yeah.
copperish taste in your mouth. You don't get that. It's just there's no sense of taste. There's no sense of flavor. So it's very difficult to figure out, you know, just I mean, what you're eating exactly because everything tastes the same.
Wow. And I kill my sense of sound.
Yeah, my sense of hearing hasn't tripped up yet, but God, that would be awesome. Be able to hear through the walls.
Wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, because once one sense goes, your other senses are supposed to heighten. So none of your other senses have heightened since your sense of taste is gone.
Right, exactly. Not yet, at least. But the other thing I've noticed, though, because I'm a smoker and I do smoke, I do partake a little bit of the wacky tobacco, is what I used to call it.
Yep.
And you can't taste that either. You know, you can feel that, you can inhale it, you can feel it. But again, it's like I don't know. You know, my worry is if I'm actually smoking in my car. You know, because if I end up doing that, if I get pulled over, I'm not going to be able to tell if whether or not the cop can smell anything or not.
Right.
So.
That's a good point.
And it makes me paranoid too, because usually I don't smoke in the house, but unfortunately we're like in the subarctic here in the central Illinois area. So I'm in the garage going, oh God, how am I going to know? So I'm like constantly opening the garage door and freezing my butt off just to make sure that there's no smell at all. And I'm hoping my neighbors aren't looking over going, what's he doing over there? Even though it's legal, I still try to keep it on the down low.
So it's legal in Illinois?
It is. Recreational is now legal, but again, I want to keep it on the down low because I want my neighbors going, hey, he's got the good stuff, you know.
Cup says,
like, why aren't you sharing? You're partaking and not sharing with your neighbors. What's up with that? That's what they're
gonna say. when it comes to winter, there's no puff puff pass. It's puff puff. I need to sleep and I hate the cold. So
yeah, right. Absolutely. Should get you a good get you one of those good blankets and shit, man.
Oh yeah, I've got a couple of them. I've actually got one that's Native American woven, which is real thick, and it's coarse like wool. I mean, but it's one of the warmest blankets you'll ever have, and I typically throw that over me, and by the end of the night, I have everything kicked off me except for that. So
now, I know they make below zero sleeping bags. Do they make below zero blankets?
I can't say I've ever had it. It can be hard because of the weave. I would think because there's no way to really encase it out, you know, something man-made. I don't think you can actually encase out of everything. So
that's a good point. That'd be cool because I slept I had a below zero sleeping bag when I was sleeping outside at one point.
Yep.
and they work really well. I mean, it never got that cold here. Like I think the coldest I was out in was, and I know you people that are in the north and all this are going to laugh at me and say that's not cold. To me, it was cold. It was like it gets to the 30s here. That's fucking cold if you're not used to, below zero. 30 degrees can be really, really bad. Now, I've been in negative temperature before, and yeah, it's much worse than 30s. Don't get me wrong, it is. I know the difference, and I know it's a lot worse. But if you're not used to super, super cold, 30 degrees, hell, even 50 degrees can be pretty bad if you're not used to the cold,
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's like what when I was living up near Tahoe and Auburn and Grass Valley area, we actually I did discover a secret, and so when I moved out to Illinois from California, I actually brought my dry suit with me because when I surfed out there in Southern California, everybody wears a dry suit because the water's a hell of a lot colder.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I put on my dry suit and I would walk around, do my walks and everything like that, and that kept me pretty well insulated.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, but the thing about Illinois weather, and it's the weirdest thing because I was living up near Tahoe, it's cold, but it doesn't have the bite like the Midwest does. And I can't explain it. I mean, you look like the kid from A Christmas Story, and you're still freezing because it's almost down to your bones. And I don't know if that has something to do with the humidity factor or what it is, but it just digs in. I mean, California, you walk around in shorts at near Tahoe, even though it's 40 degrees out or 30 degrees out or even 20 degrees out, and you're okay for a little while. Here, you can't do that. You can't do that here. It's that lake effect, and it just has a weird result from just how the cold eats into your skin.
Love Tahoe, man. I haven't been to Tahoe in so long. So gorgeous up there. Just all the mountains and
scary.
The waterfalls and crap.
Yeah, that's scary because you're so close to that. You're only an hour and a half away.
About an hour and a half, yeah, not too far. But I've been there in a while. But yeah, I want to go bad. I went when my mom took me and my brother when we were really young. We went to Tahoe, South Lake Tahoe, and we went and saw Half Dome. That was freaking awesome to see.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
And then when I joined the California Conservation Corps, and we weren't anywhere near Tahoe, but I was more up north in Humboldt County, and all those. So we would go out on these what they call them spikes, which are pretty much camping trips, and we go to these state parks, and we actually build trail with just handmade tools. It was freaking awesome. Hard work. But man, some of the most fun I can ever remember. It was just amazing.
Yeah, see, it's a small world. I was actually part of the California Conservation Corps out of San Luis Obispo.
Oh,
and
shit,
we did
wow.
mostly we did mostly stuff like Santa Maria, Cayucos, Morro Bay, Atascadero, that area. But yeah, same thing. You go through the same training. It was like a brotherhood,
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
and also, I actually went to the San Luis Obispo center because they sent me to leadership training, and that's where it was held. So did that, and it was a lot of. I didn't like it because when I was there, I guess it was springtime, and my allergies I was miserable. I was absolutely miserable.
Did you at least get to spend any time in the snow at all?
No, because when I went, there was no snow when I went.
Oh, okay. No, I mean slow. San Luis Obispo. Did you have to go to town at all?
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
Man, so gorgeous. I mean, it's just like a small town. Like it just is such a great atmosphere there. It's just freaking phenomenal.
Yeah, it's a nice little community. I mean, they have a great brewery there. If you ever get down that way again, called Slow Brewing Company, they make a stout that literally oozes out of the tap. They just put the glass there and walk away for like 90 seconds while it fills.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's thick.
Awesome. Right on. Hey, what's up?
Anyway, sorry to take over your board here or your panel.
No worries. Oh no, man, it's just fun stuff, and man, it's cool to meet someone that actually is in the conservation corps too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most of what we did where I was, we did salmon restoration. So we'd go into the rivers and lakes and all that, and build habitat so the salmon could habitate and all that good stuff. It was a lot of fun, hard work, but super fun.
Ours was mainly digging trenches and everything for the fires and making break points and everything with the different fire agencies like the Forestry Service and everything, as well as building trails and making sure to check erosion on the coastline.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did. We actually did a lot. We went on the beaches and we would pull European beach grass. Apparently, there's a lot of that crap up north, and so we pull that. We pulled lupin and just all kinds of crap. That wasn't as much fun but we only did that during the winter months because we can't go out there and do in the rivers because the salmon are there, and we didn't want to kill any, so we'd have to. It was off season, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. So, Gary, what kind of stuff did you do in your youth, sir?
I played around.
You played around. Really? What kind of games you play, Gary?
Oh, I was corrupted. I grew up in a pool hall.
Did you? Okay. Right on.
Well,
Did you
more
bring-
or less, I ran for one summer I ran it for the guy that owned it, and he cheated me out of all my money. Son of a bitch.
So you're like a pool shark.
No, I used to be, but not anymore. I can't
Okay.
shoot worth a shit now.
Oh, damn. That sucks.
Well, when I was in the service, I was ordered to move back on base because I kept showing up late for work.
So
Really
I'm assuming
sucked.
there was a current volume of alcohol involved. So maybe you actually played better when you're inebriated.
No, but I made sure I'd go down to the NCO club,
Oh, there you go.
and all the old lifers down there were all drunked up, so I hooked and I snookered them son of a bitches.
Right on.
I hustled for a little bit.
Now, how many people here in chat do play pool? And who's good at pool? Who thinks they can beat Gary, who was a pool shark and ran a whole table? Who thinks they can beat him? What do you think, Richard? Richard, you think you can beat him? I think Peanut could beat you. That's what I'm thinking. I think Peanut will take you to school. I'm thinking
You
Peanut
probably
will just
could.
take you to school.
Like
She'd
I
take
say,
me
I
to
ain't
school.
worth a shit now.
She take me to school too. I'm no good at pool at all. I try and I fail every single time.
Well, you got to know what game to play. I figured out. 8-ball sucks. I hated it. But I was good. I was good at 9-ball, and I was good at snooker.
Oh, Peanut. A cat plays. Oh, shoot. Hornet can play. Oh, all right, cool. Yeah. So, yeah, man, just a lot of cool stuff. I do miss being up north. It is because, and not so much atmosphere because there's a lot of freaking racist stuff north. Man, it's pretty bad up there. But at the same time, just the small town atmosphere and just, oh man, it's beautiful. It didn't get too hot, and I hate hot. I hate hot. I hate cold. So it was kind of perfect for me because it didn't get too cold. And then I don't think it got above like 70. It didn't get into the 80s very often when I was up there, which was really nice. So it was always just beautiful weather.
Yeah, my goal eventually is moving out to Oregon. It's going to get a lot more rain, but it's just the climate is so much more acclimated to what I feel like I'm more comfortable in. So
yeah, Oregon, Washington, or man, I would love to go to Hawaii. That's a dream right there. Goal right there is Hawaii.
See, I think you get more of that humidity out there in Hawaii though too as well. I don't know.
You do, but it's not like humidity. Like when I was in Missouri, that was fucking humid. Way too humid. Hawaii was, it was a little humid, but it wasn't like blistering humidity when I was there. Then again, I wasn't there for that long, so maybe it was just a low humidity kind of week that I was there. But at the same time, it definitely wasn't like Missouri. As soon as you step off the plane, you're like, oh my God, what am I doing here? That's horrible.
Yeah, Illinois is the same way. It's the weirdest thing. It's like you can't. You take a shower and you walk outside and you're still wet. There's just no way around it.
Texas too.
I've been living that humidity here all my life.
Yeah, Texas.
Yeah, well, I will say though, the cool thing about that though is I actually my sister lives down in Phoenix, and I went out there and flew out last June or July, and it was like 103, 104. Like they were worried about the plane not being able to like land because of how hot the tarmac was. But we got off the plane and it was like this. It was brutally hot, and I put my arm out the window as I'm driving around, and I could feel the skin of my arm cooking. But I was like, this isn't actually that bad compared to like, I just left. It was like 95 with 100% humidity. And it was like, it just didn't feel the same. And it was like, I can do this, I'm okay with this because I can actually breathe,
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing about Missouri is in the summer, you get all the humidity and it's hot, but then it gets cold and you're just like, oh my God, there's no escape from the fucking weather in Missouri.
Yeah,
there isn't.
In the winter, it's too fucking cold, and then as soon as it's something cold, the humidity comes back, and you're like, motherfucker.
Right. And see, Missouri
Breeze
doesn't get
nice
nearly the
around
snow
here.
we do. So,
Oh, geez. Well, it's also Illinois is worse for humidity and more snow, huh?
right. Yeah. And
See,
that's the
I
thing.
can't
Like,
go to Illinois.
I walked out this morning and it was like 7.5 inches of snow was drifted behind my car. Unfortunately, though, I recently had my midlife crisis and I bought a new car that's 3 inches lower than you should be stock. And so I'm not actually, going over snow. I'm more plowing it with the front of a Dodge
Right.
Charger. So,
Right. Right. Hey, at least you got a Charger. Those are fucking beautiful cars.
yeah, it's awesome. I love the Hemi in it, and it's very loud and very fast. So I named it after my ex-wife.
So you really can't drive it too much in the winter then, huh?
No, rear wheel drive. I didn't get the all wheel package. I got the rear wheel drive just because I like the stick and I like being able to have that speed, necessary to go. And unfortunately, in the wintertime, there's no way. I try getting out my driveway and I'm just fishtailing each direction. There's no straight. It's you're going sideways.
Mm-hmm. Oh, by the way, people were trying to click on the link that Nightbot is giving you to join panel. That's not correct. Click on this link right here. I can't highlight it, unfortunately, because I'm not in StreamYards. So if one of the mods could do it and then they could post it every once in a while, please, that would be awesome. Yeah, it really is. It's like the Amazon jungle. It's freaking horrible, and then it gets super cold. Texas is bad too. I was working overnight at HEB in Texas, and I'd get off at 5, 6 in the morning, and it would be just as hot when I came in as it was when I left. And the sun's been down for 8 hours. It's just fucking get out of here with this bullshit. I don't see how people, and other people are like, oh, they get used to it. I don't see how you can get used to that. I wouldn't be able to get used to it.
Well, see, the funny thing is, one of the things I noticed after I've been living in Illinois, I think I've been out here 5 or 6. I've been out in Illinois for about 22, 23 years now. And I think it was my 5th or 6th year, I had to fly back home for a funeral down to LA. And it was funny because it was December. And I got off the plane. It was 40 degrees or something like that. And I'm walking around in shorts and a t-shirt because I just left Sub-Zeros.
Right.
And people look at me like I'm crazy, but it was great. And then I flew back I think it was 6 months later, back in June. And I'd gotten off the plane and I'd gone to, I spent maybe 3 hours on Venice Beach. And my entire life living in California, I never had to wear sunscreen, ever. Because it's just, I'm used to it. And it was oh, I don't need to wear, and my ex was oh, you got to wear sunscreen. The kids are putting on that sunscreen. You got to put it on. I'm no, I'll be fine. Trust me. I never burn. I just get really dark. And she's okay, great. Yeah, I ended up with sun poisoning.
Oh, no.
And I had 2nd degree, I had those blisters that were boiling up my back and my arms. And I was just you got to be kidding me. So apparently if you spend a certain amount of time in Paceville, Illinois, and even in the summer here, I get outside and I'm out walking around the sun, but something about that, I don't know, the humidity is more of a protection factor. So being out here long enough, when I flew there, it was oh my God, you got to be kidding me. So it's my entire body had adjusted itself to learn how to acclimate to this climate, and going out there, it was horrible. And I mean, the problem was we were flying out the next day, and of course, I got to be the guy and carry all the luggage, and I'm trying to go out, and I got blisters popping all over the place. It was miserable. So I ended up having to take an ice bath just to bring my body temperature down. It was pretty bad.
Jeez, that sucks.
So, but I learned my lesson. Sunscreen is key now. So
see, I don't use a whole lot. I don't use sunscreen either. I haven't got a sunburn in freaking at least 20 years. Wow, yeah, it's been a long time since I've had a sunburn. But
right,
ooh, that man, yeah, I believe it. I believe that. Holy crap! So what's your? Are you still working with COVID going on, or?
Yeah, the nice thing is everybody's separated. So the papers that I work for, I can strictly work remote. So I work from home. I've got my own little 2 monitors and my laptop, and I can do all my work from here. And then if I actually have to go out and do anything, I just have to make sure I stay away from actual other people.
Right.
My tests are negative now, so I'm actually okay, because you only test positive for a certain time, and then the antibodies in your body kick up, and you're okay. So I'm testing negative, but I can still be a carrier, so to speak. Right. So I try to stay away from people. I don't go into closed buildings. So all the stuff that I'm covering is out in the open. So
what are one of the most interesting things you've covered over the recent few months?
Recent few months, not a whole lot, except for maybe a couple of the bar closures for going against the state and staying open and having these, grandiose parties. So we've had a few of the bars here that, right now things are reopening here. I think we're at a 75% capacity now, because our numbers have dropped drastically. However, the bars are still limited on how many people they can have, and so we've had a few that are just packed up full of anything. I am going to be hopefully covering a recent story here about we had a DUI that was had come through. Unfortunately, it's not an interesting one. It's more tragic. We had a DUI that was happening. Apparently, the gal that had hit and killed another individual has 3 or 4 DUIs and has never been convicted of those on a area where she's lost her license. So we're investigating the Secretary of State to find out why there's a disconnect between the Secretary of State and the court systems as to why they're not revoking licenses back. So,
Jeez.
yeah, it's not a good one. So it's like I said, it's pretty tragic, and the family's really tore up about it. But again, like I said, it's just it's a matter of, you know, how many times does a person have to, you know, get busted for DUI before, you know, they end up killing somebody, and then people take up and look at notice, you know. So we're trying to interview the judges. I'm trying to do remote interviews with the judges right now. I can't go into too many details about who they are and the area and stuff, but I mean, I'm looking into doing more detail about getting a hold of the judges and finding out, you know, what their feelings are, knowing that within the last 5 years, this person has had 3 DUIs, and now this person's killed somebody, and how do they feel about their rulings to do what's the word I'm looking for? Probation instead of any time served or losing their license at all.
It's amazing because here it's a lot different here in California. Like here in California, man, they're real hard on people that drunk drive. I mean, so it's interesting to see how different states are more lenient.
I don't think it's states. I think it's more location, because I know in California, like a lot of the smaller towns, even then, they're not as harsh as you would say if you were living in Los Angeles or Sacramento or coastal cities such as San Francisco or even Marin County. Whereas out here, the major cities such as Chicago and St. Louis, you know, those ones have they have a lot harsher. But we're kind of a smaller. I mean, we're the 3rd largest city in Illinois, but again, we still have, you know, I can get from one side of town to the other side of town in 30 minutes. It's that small, but that big, and it just seems like there's a disconnect there because we're not a large city. There's a lot more, okay, you know, we're going to go ahead and give you permission. Don't do this again. And the person, you know, cries and, okay, I'll be good. But that's not the case. You have to, you know, you've got to have that iron fist. And it goes even down to the counties they would live in, because we're separated by a river. And so we have one county on one side of the river, another county on our side of the river. And the rulings for certain crimes are completely different, which is really unique as well. One of the things I've learned over the last couple of years, and that's one thing I've been trying to research and try to look at, you know, so I'm looking at somebody gets arrested for the same crime on both sides of the river. How is it handled in the court systems? So like the east side of the river is actually, you know, a lot more harsh than the west side of the river, but the west side of the river is where more of the white collar and executive areas is, whereas the other side of the river is sort of like the other side of the tracks. You've got more of the blue collar and those types of situations. So why is there a disconnect there?
I agree. What's up, Big D? And yeah, I agree with who said it. It was Ian Woodfield said persistent offenders should be jailed 5 years minimum. I agree.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Sure. Because they're just putting other people's lives in danger, not just their own. And it's just, if you do it one time, you should be punished for sure. I think maybe California doesn't. I mean, I don't know. So we're pretty harsh on it, but at the same time, and it doesn't. And you know what's funny? We're harsh on it, but it doesn't necessarily stop it that much either. So
right. And then you also run into the judges that they revoke a license, but then they end up getting the okay to be able to drive to and from work.
Which is,
you know,
pointless.
Which is kind of pointless, you know, and understand, but what's that person, what's stopping that person from pulling over? And then of course, you know, well, we've got breathalyzers on the car. Well, that's great. I got a buddy of mine that I can set as a designated driver, and all he has to do is blow into my hose and I'm good.
Yep.
You know,
eventually when technology permits, they'll probably have to where you have to test your blood and they know your blood type, but then you just have to find a friend with the same blood type as you.
Yeah, that would definitely be unique.
It'd be pricey as hell.
You're right. I would think more of like the eye scanner would actually be better, because you know your eyes dilate more when you're intoxicated versus when they're not.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. No, that would be good for drugs too.
Right, exactly. But then again, you also run the risk of, okay, what if the person took cold medicine, and they're just driving to work, and it's a reasonable amount of cold medicine. So
That's a good point. Yeah, but if you're taking the cold medicine, it's gonna make you drowsy. You shouldn't be driving anyway.
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's making you drowsy, but again, I guess they'd have to figure out the impact of how much, is the legal amount of cold medicine okay to drive with, or does that make your pupils more reactive or less reactive, depending on how much you've used?
Or not only that, what if they just looked into like some sort of flashlight or something, and they're good.
Right,
They had a flashlight
exactly.
yeah, so it could have some other issues.
Right.
I think the
And
blood
yeah,
one would work really well too, but I don't know. It would be pretty
yeah,
pricey.
right. But then you'd also end up going into the hazmat aspect of things too, with with the blood and all that fun stuff. Like where does it store it and cleaning it and all that
That's
fun
true.
stuff. And Ian had a point about the UK about the idiots start drinking at 18, legally not 21. There's a few states in the United States, like Wisconsin. There's no legal limit for drinking as long as you're with the parent.
Jeez,
So
really?
if you walk into a bar with your
Wow.
12-year-old kid and your 12-year-old's there with you, you can have your 12-year-old have a beer. I mean, is it the right thing to do? No, but
Wait, how do
you
they
legally
how
can
do
do
they
that.
get it? How do they get away with that? With isn't the national is 21?
The national's 21, but they can the states are still allowed to make their own
Yeah,
their
that's
own
true.
unique
That's true. That's
areas.
true.
So like I know there are some bars
Jesus.
and counties in the area that you can be 18 and be inside of a bar and actually work at a bar, but you can't drink from that bar. So as long as you have an adult supervising it. So
Jeez, that's just crazy. And Richard brought up a good point. You can't legislate morality, which is absolutely true.
yep.
It's something that has to be taught, and unfortunately, there's parents out there that are not teaching their kids morality.
Yeah. You can't fix stupid.
No, you really can't. I mean, like we were talking about the last stream, there's reasons we have, stupid ass labels on things like it's caution hot on McDonald's coffee. That's there because some lady sued them.
Right, but you also have to understand. You have to admit, though, if the majority of any sort of safety items that are on any products, do you know what the number one state is that's from?
California, probably.
California,
Yeah,
because everything there causes cancer, and so all the green people need to know what's in it.
Oh, it's ridiculous, man. I'll be like, you'll see signs on buildings. If you come in here, there's this building has products known to cause cancer. I'm like, really?
Right.
It's like
Well,
they're
what's
trying to
funny,
scare you doing everything.
and they're strict too, because I flew into, I was about 3 years ago, I flew into Seattle and I drove from there all the way down to San Diego, photographing all the lighthouses down the coast, which is a beautiful trip, 101 to 1, switching over there in Leggett and taking the windy roads, which is, if you've never done it, I highly recommend it. Anybody doing California run, if you want to see the true beauty, don't go south to north, go north to south. That's how you'll truly appreciate it. But when I got to, and again, I'm a smoker, so when I was in Oregon, I was like, whoa, they have like no sales tax. So the cigarettes there, I got a carton for like $12. It just blew me away. I was like, you got to be kidding me. So I bought 2 cartons of smokes and I had my pack in the car and I went down and I hit the border. As soon as I got to the border, the little stop there, they're in, I can't remember the town. It's right outside of Fort Bragg, in between California and Oregon. And the gal checking my stuff, any fruits to declare? I said, no. She goes, you have any tobacco products? I said, yeah, I got 2 cartons of cigarettes and I got my pack here. And she goes, oh, can you pull up here for me? I said, sure, no problem. They stripped my car and searched it because I had more than 1 carton of cigarettes. And I apparently didn't realize that that's actually a huge thing out there in California from Oregon is people traffic cigarettes across the border because it's so cheap and then they resell it for a higher price. But I'm like, dude, I'm on vacation. Look, here's my return flight. This is a rental car that should give you some information. He goes, oh, no, you'd be surprised what these criminals do. And I'm like, okay, and it was a bit weird, but I mean, I guess I understood the basis behind it too because of trafficking. So
same thing up north. Up north, like they do that from Canada to like Wisconsin, places like that. They do cigarettes from there too. So yeah,
they do cigarettes, and they also do any product whatsoever. So if there's a sale going on, like if you cross the border, because technically anything purchased in Canada is not covered by California or covered by United States warranties. So it's actually kind of funny because especially with electronics, and I did a story on this a few years ago. People were going up there on Black Friday and buying a bunch of TVs, and they'd cross the border and then basically connect them, and hey, they don't work anymore. So when they called customer support's like, okay, great, what's your serial number? Well, people didn't realize the serial numbers can be tracked back to what country and what state it was bought in.
Right.
So all their warranties were invalid.
Oh, damn.
And you know, so even though you bought it 2 weeks ago and you need to get it repaired, well, when you cross that border, you basically nullified that warranty by plugging it into your outlet at home. Sure, you could go across the border and try to do something about it, but your address is not going to be a Canadian address. So unless you have friends living there, you're out of luck.
Yeah.
So
jeez. Oh, there's a lesson to you folks. If you're going to buy something in Canada, make sure you have a friend that lives in Canada, that you have the address to give them, so that way if it stops working, you're golden.
Yep.
Wait a minute, but what about, wouldn't you have to, like, let's say they did all that, right? And then they said, okay, so if they sent someone to repair it, you'd have to go to Canada to sit at your friend's house to wait for it to be repaired, or you'd have to take it to a Canada repairman, or you'd have to wait for the TV to be shipped to your friend and then bring it back to the States.
Exactly. Everything has to be done in Canada. And then the problem is you'd have to have the exact address of where the service is going to be set up. That way they actually have if they have locations in Canada to repair it, you would have to take it to their region location. So if that location is 50 miles away from where you bought the TV, you've got to take it that 50 miles to drop it off. And then of course it's there for, 24 hours to 2 weeks trying to get repaired.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what's up, Taco? What's up, Power Wagon? How are you guys? And we were just talking about Texas and the humidity y'all have up there. But yeah, so geez, yeah, that shit's crazy. That makes sense though, with the whole warranty. That's interesting.
Yeah, and I know there's something to do with the taxes as well when it comes to certain amount of volume of products when bringing it down. I'm not too clear on that one there, but I also know that Taco might know on that one more since he's up there. But they do have some more items that you can't cross the border with a certain volume of certain things because of the import laws. So it's kind of like the duty-free type shops.
Now, what happens if you buy? Let's say because Amazon has they have sellers and all that. What if you buy from an overseas or Canadian seller through Amazon and you buy their warranty? Like, how would that work out, you think?
Yeah, that would be unique. I wouldn't know that one there. I know I bought a camera lens from Canada one year and they shipped it down here, and as soon as I got it, it was actually bought through Amazon. It was a Canadian reseller. And when it got to me, the manufacturer's warranty was null and void, but the shop that I bought it from, they warranted it for US use. So I had to ship it back to them for repair replacement. And I actually ended up getting replaced. So I had to ship it back to them and they replaced it and sent me a new one. But none of the shops, I couldn't take it to any of the repair shops here because they wouldn't touch it.
Right. Because it's
Okay,
Canadian.
Kenny, remember yesterday we were talking about Hawaii? Here's another instance. Very same thing. I was trying to make up, tell you have to get a passport now if Hawaii was their own country.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all these issues now would be buy something in Hawaii. Now, if you bought it in a foreign country, just like Canada.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but Hawaii is still strict. My sister and her brother, or my sister and her husband were stationed out there, and their dogs were put into quarantine for, God, I think it was like 2 or 3 months before they could get released to actually have the animals. And it was the same thing when they flew away. To go back to the States, back stateside, the dogs had to be quarantined before they came back to the States, and that it got to the point where they actually ended up donating the dogs to a couple friends of theirs as like just giving it to them because it was just less hassle to go through to have to wait because you have to pay for the boarding. You've got to pay for the testing, and there's a bunch of other stuff you have to pay for. And it was like, it's just cheaper to find a good home for them.
Jeez. Yeah. What's the crazy thing here in California is you can't bring a car from another state into California because it won't pass smog, or you have to make sure it passes smog before you're able to use it here. California is just as strict. And
yeah, because I know in Southern California, a lot of people would go to Arizona, they'd buy their plates there and then drive around in Southern California, but then end up getting dinged because, the licensing is cheaper there, but you still can only have it on the road for a certain period of time before you have to switch it over.
After that too, yep. And not only that, but it's like I said, the smog check and all that. California, man, they don't want to deal with any freaking weird climate bullshit from another state. They're like, no,
Yeah, and
this is
I
us.
don't miss that at all. I have to admit, especially with the car I got now, because I got an aftermarket exhaust. I wouldn't pass smog to save my life. But
Right.
yeah, I mean, it's great. You know, it's just I don't miss that at all. But I do understand the concept of why, especially it's like, you know, a lot of the coastal towns. One thing I don't know if any of your viewers know this or not, but a lot of the coastal towns, I'm sure you know this, Kenny, but a lot of the coast towns don't allow drive-throughs for like McDonald's, Wendy's, Taco Bell, things
I
like
didn't
that,
know
especially in
that.
like San Luis Obispo. San Luis Obispo, most of the coastal towns, because again, it causes too much smog, so they actually started getting away from that. Now, Los Angeles is a different monster, but if you start going north to like the central area, like San Luis Obispo, Santa Maria, Cayucos, Morro Bay, Cayucos, or Monterey, you'll notice that they're just not there. So if you want to actually get a meal at a fast food joint, you actually have to park, go in, grab it, come out to your car, and then go home.
Okay, see, I get the concept behind that, but wouldn't it make more sense to target bigger cities as opposed to smaller cities? Because
You would think.
because the smaller cities, yeah, okay, so you're gonna stop what little bit of smog they might have added to the environment with their little bit of traffic, but then
Right.
Los Angeles, that just makes absolutely no sense.
Right, and the other thing about that is how many people are actually going to get out of their car and not leave it running?
Right?
You
True.
know?
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point. Well, I know here, at least in McDonald's here in Sacramento, they don't allow you to go inside anymore. Everything is done over through drive-through. They don't let
Right.
anyone inside. There's a lot of restaurants that will let you go in still, but McDonald's are like, nope. We're just gonna just drive through. That's it. So they're
We have a lot
definitely
of fast food here that are doing the same. Like all the restaurants have opened up, but fast food is strictly like contactless. You go basically
Yeah.
pull up and they drop it out the window and you're done.
It's so weird. Have you dealt with a contactless pizza delivery yet? That is some weird shit.
No, I haven't, not yet.
That is some
I know I've got
weird
the
shit.
option for it. Tried it myself.
Yeah, it's weird shit.
It's mainly the flour anymore. So to get the specialized cauliflower crusts, I have to go to a place that does real, pizza.
Ooh, cauliflower crust. Man, cauliflower anything. I love cauliflower rice. Oh, I love cauliflower rice.
Good stuff.
So good.
Good stuff.
It's good for you
And
too.
I'll tell people if you've never tried cauliflower crust, try it. It's actually
I bet
it's
you
a
it's good.
really unique flavor and it's really good. If it's done right, it's amazing.
I agree. And first time I tried cauliflower rice, I was like, I don't know. Well, first time I tried it, we did half and half. It was regular
Right.
rice with cauliflower rice, and I was like, okay. You couldn't tell at least I couldn't tell the difference. Then switched all the way over to cauliflower. You can tell the difference, but it's not nasty because cauliflower doesn't really have a unique flavor that much, or if it does, it's not as strong as you might think it is. Because as a kid, it's like, oh my god, vegetables. You just you put too much on it, but.
Right, it's like brown rice. The brown rice has a very unique and distinctive flavor, whereas white rice really doesn't. I think the cauliflower rice, it's not as harsh and distinctive as brown rice, but it's not as bland and tasteless like white rice. It's kind of an in between there, and it's kind of a pleasant flavor too. It's not like earthy or dirty or anything. It's a pleasant taste. So
Power Wagon, don't knock it till you tried it. It's actually really good. You should try it out, and it's good for you. You won't have nearly the carbs you have with regular rice. It's a healthy alternative.
Yeah, 0 carbs actually.
Yeah.
So
That's it. I'm gonna have to get me some cauliflower rice now. Now, how would you make it? You just put the cauliflower through like a cheese grater, maybe?
Well, the place I go to actually they do a cauliflower flour, I guess. They basically grind out the cauliflower, they dry it out and do it like in a flour base, add the water and everything. I tried it here at home a couple times, did the same thing, actually bought cauliflower flour, and I did added water to it, some egg, rolled it up like a nice flour, let it sit for a little while, and I do thin crust pizza, which is really good. I add seasoning into it, like I add some fresh garlic, or I'll throw in some Italian, seasoning, something that give it more of a distinctive Italian flavor, more spice to it, and it's actually pretty good. Some ground red pepper, or some ground pepper and salt. It's good stuff.
Power Wagon's just sitting here. He's not a fan. I guess he's not liking it at all. That's okay. It's not for everyone, I guess. You need your carbs. Oh, hey, if you need your carbs, fine. But I'm just saying it will surprise you how good it is, especially if you want to add some flavor to it. Add some seasoning to it. I'm telling you, you will not be able to tell the difference. Just be like, and you'll be eating healthier. It's like 2 birds, 1 stone. I know maybe not everyone's into eating healthier, but it's a decent starter at least, or at least go for Greek yogurt or something.
It amazes me how many people they hear of something and they've had something before, And it's all about the preparation, how it's cooked, and how it's basically done for you. You know, because like it's as an example, I can give you, and I don't know if you've heard of this before or not. Lingua.
Nah, I haven't
I'm a
heard of it.
huge lingua fan, which is actually cow tongue.
Oh yes,
And
I don't know about all
I
that.
don't like cow tongue because my grandmother used to make it. She'd boil it and basically you try to tenderize it, and it was like eating, it was like trying to chew a piece of gum that tasted like fat.
Ugh.
However, the Hispanics to the Mexicans have the Mexican food restaurants that we have out in California, especially the true authentic ones, not your margaritas or not your Qdobas or whatever the hell they're called. They don't do lingua because it's not a very sought after item, but it's actually really good the way they season it and tenderize it and the way they spice it. It's healthier than ground beef, and it has a more it has a better flavor to it. And when I first tried it, I was tricked into eating it because I had no idea. I'm like, yeah, let me get a lingua taco. I've never tried it. Let me just give it a shot. I fell in love with them, and now I won't eat another ground beef taco. I strictly do lingua, just because of the flavor of it so much better. It's kind of like chorizo, with that Mexican sausage because of the seasoning and the spices they put in there. But people don't realize. I mean, it's a different type of sausage, but it's really good.
Chorizo is awesome. I love some chorizo.
Yeah.
I haven't had what you're talking about yet, but I don't know. Just the cow tongue makes me think not so much.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, if you didn't know what you're eating, you'd probably like it. And that's the big thing. I mean, all I can do is for any of the listeners out there or anybody on the panel, etc. Just if you have a chance to try, just try a little bit. Do a little small, a corn tortilla. If you like cilantro, get some cilantro and some cheese. It's good stuff. So.
Yeah, see, I'm also not a fan of a lot of seafood. I don't like crab. I don't like lobster. I don't like There's only a little bit of seafood I like. No.
Yeah, see, I can't live without seafood, man. I'm all about, that's the big thing about living in the Midwest. It's so expensive to find real, stuff out here. And it's like, I love oysters. And I remember going down to New Orleans one year because I grew up in California. So when anybody went to get oysters, you go to Oregon. Because Oregon, the oysters out there are the size of your hand. And we're not talking about a little kid's hand. We're talking about a full adult grown male's hand. They're huge. And it's a very sweet flavor because of how cold the water is. And I always heard that, New Orleans was famous for their oysters. And don't get me wrong, they're good. But I was really disappointed at paying, how much I was paying for these little tiny, thumbnail size oysters, even up to, an inch to an inch and a half long. I was like, really? That's an oyster and you're charging me that much? I mean, I can go to Oregon and buy a half dozen, and I'm looking at 2 meals right there just because of the size of the meat. So,
right. So Ian Woodfield said, "I've eaten a full English breakfast for breakfast, 2 burgers and fried egg with onions for dinner, and fish and chips for supper for the last 30 years. I'm not fat, and I'm as healthy as I was at 16. Well, damn, you got one hell of a metabolism, then, sir."
Yeah, but it's a lot colder there. So if I'm not mistaken, it's always rainy and cold for most parts of the country. So, you're always burning that off,
That's true.
Personally.
That's true. Yeah.
So that was a big thing. Like I don't know. Have you ever traveled? I mean, either one of you guys traveled overseas and seen the portion difference that they have like in different countries versus the United States? Just that blows me away. So.
I've seen them. Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, it does blow me away as well. See, Randy said crab, shrimp, oysters. Damn right. So Randy's with you. Loves him some.
Yep.
Loves him. I'm sure there's more people that like seafood as opposed to that don't like seafood. I get this. I know I'm not in the norm on that, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah, and it's so much better for you too. Salmon is just an amazing, amazing food for. I don't know if you like salmon or not, but salmon's such an amazing food.
I love
great.
Salmon.
It's amazingly good for you. And that was the other thing I was going to bring up too about living in the Midwest. So the only salmon you can get here is either Atlantic or lake salmon, which does not taste like the stuff you get up in in Washington or on the West Coast at all. And it's just it's a very earthy flavor. So.
All right, there we go. So the StreamYard link is now pinned to the top of the. It should be pinned to the top of the chat for everyone. That way you don't have to ask.
Yep, it's there.
Good, just showed up. I just see it too. All right, so yeah. I like cod. I like salmon. I like tuna. I'm not a fan of shark. I've had it. Just not a fan of shark. I like catfish. Love me some catfish.
Love catfish.
Yep.
Um,
Mahi.
love mahi mahi. That is like
Yep.
it's like meat.
Oh yeah.
It's freaking awesome. It's just fantastic. What's up, Hank?
Hey, what's up?
All
How
right.
much? How are you doing today?
Living as good as I can without water.
Oh shit! You guys are out of no water right now.
Had a pipe burst yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh damn! So where are you at right now? Where are you at?
Central Texas
So it's pretty fucking cold there.
got down to 2 degrees last night.
Holy shit!
I think we're at -18 right now with the real feel. I think we're -1 or -2, but with the wind chill right now, we're at -18.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you guys what it is here. You guys are going to be like, "Fucker."
When I was stationed at Fort Drum, I would expect temperatures like this, but here, no.
Yeah.
Right? Absolutely not there. No. Jeez. I'm glad I'm
Well,
not
see,
in
it's-
Texas anymore.
That was the other funny thing that I noticed, the difference between California and here. Like when I lived near Tahoe, if you went out driving, you always put chains on your tires. And the first ticket I ever got in Illinois was for driving with chains on my tires, because in Illinois it's illegal. You can't drive with chains on your tires because it tears up the road. So
I like halibut. Yeah, halibut is good, Taco. What's up, Power
Oh, yeah.
Wagon?
Howdy.
How are you doing today?
I'm freezing my ass off.
So what is it? What is it for you?
It got down to 12, and I'm near the coast.
Oh, Jesus. So you're saying something about Houston that's been out of power for like 48 hours?
47% of the customers in the Houston area have power for the last
Jesus.
48 hours.
Jesus.
Well, I've
That's-
been running off the generator for the last, 16, 17 hours now.
Jeez.
jeez.
It was -9 this morning.
Well, Texas isn't used to that, especially the Houston area. They're not used to that cold ass weather at all, so it's fucking with them.
Just
I
like
was in
me,
Go ahead.
just like me, I protected my pipes and everything, but we have no water because the city pipes have all broken.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, when I was there, man, I think once a month when I was in Houston, the power would go out for like absolutely no reason. The power that they just do not have. You would think being there, they would have a better handle on the power situation, but Houston, man, whoever runs the power there is just, I don't know what they're fucking doing most of their time. They're just fucking around because when I was there's always some sort of issue with the power. They got to fix that shit.
Well, shit, I got all the exposed pipes insulated. It's the ones up in the that are going through the insulation that I didn't think I had to worry about. Well, I was wrong.
So Cheryl O says Michigan isn't that cold, at least not where I am. And see, I'm not too cold. I mean, it's cold today. Don't get me wrong. It's chilly, but it's not like if I walked out in shorts, I'd be okay. I wouldn't die. But it's chilly. But yeah, I think it has something to do with something about because we need rain here. We haven't had too much rain this season. I think this winter so far we've maybe had like a week's worth of rain. It's been freaking horrible. We're gonna go in another drought here, unfortunately. It seems.
Yeah, we haven't been above freezing since Wednesday of last week, and it's not supposed to get above freezing until Friday or Saturday here.
I'm so sorry for you guys. That
Wow.
sucks, man. That really sucks.
That's the weird thing here too. Is
Kansas City.
yeah, we're the same as supposed to be. What's strange about it though is like we're in the single digits up until Monday, and then it goes up to like 35. So it's going from one extreme to the next.
Oh, Tuesday it was 70 degrees.
Jeez.
Wow.
All right, Kenny, Gary, Hank, I'm gonna hop off. It's been a pleasure as always, Kenny. I'll keep listening, but I gotta wrap up a couple things here at work. So have a great rest of your day, guys.
Good talking with you, Paul.
Okay, Paul.
You too. Bye bye.
Nice seeing you again.
It's not that bad. Actually, it's 61 degrees outside, so it's not bad at all. Looks like it's going to be like that for the rest of the week. With no rain. Oh, no, I take that back. A chance of rain on Friday. That sucks. We fucking need rain bad here. So bad.
No, we're supposed to get out of this deep freeze a little bit toward the end of the week, but they're calling for more snow.
Yeah, it's record low temperatures here.
Oh, holy crap! 33 degrees in Houston right now. That is with a 44% humidity. Oh my god! No humidity in Houston. That's amazing. Holy shit! No
Well,
humidity. 44%. That's not bad.
at least they're up to 33 degrees. It's only 17 here.
Jeez, man, what the fuck is going on? 2021 is just wow. So you think? What do you guys think? You think this is the new norm? You think this is just some weird shit, or you think the Earth is finally shifting and we're starting to see the new norm?
Well, no, I think too many people said it can't be worse than 2020, and 2021 said,
"Hold my beer." Yeah.
The new
Well-
ice age.
I had to drive 30 miles to get water.
Oh, jeez.
That was the closest grocery store I could find that was open and had water.
God, Laura H is talking again. Come on up, Laura H. Tell us what the weather's like where you're at. And Power Wagon, you're gonna need to turn down the volume on the stream.
Yeah, something.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's the difference. I think it's the different Fahrenheit to Celsius conversion. I used to know the
Yeah, I'm about to bundle up and head back out and see if I can. That one store I could get 4 gallons of water.
so it's 32 degrees. When it's 32 degrees Fahrenheit, it's 0 degrees Celsius. So it's 32 degrees. That's what I thought it was, but I wasn't sure. Yep, I used to know the algebraic equation, and then I stopped taking that class, and guess what? I forgot the algebraic equation because I didn't use it anymore, so it didn't matter.
I just remember freezing at 0 Celsius and
Yeah,
30 Fahrenheit.
yeah. So it's a 32-degree difference.
Thermometer I got in my house has got both, so I can just cross over. That big deal.
Well, good for you. Well, I have Google, and Google could tell me. Google's better than your little calculator. Ha! It's probably no. Your calculator might be faster. What's up, Laura?
Oh, hi.
So
My
what?
feedback seems really bad.
Yeah, like I said, I'm doing something different. So yeah, might take some. I'll probably go back to normal. This is all right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Laura.
So it's a 32-degree difference between Fahrenheit and Celsius. Just so you know.
No, not a 32-degree difference.
Yeah, it is. When it's
Hang on,
32,
I'll just see if it works better with my headphones.
when it's 32 degrees Fahrenheit, it's 0 degrees Celsius. So it's a 32-degree
Yeah,
difference.
but you can't just add 32 degrees to the temperature to figure out Celsius.
Okay. The
Like
formula is 32 degrees Fahrenheit minus 32 times 5/9 equals Celsius.
Yeah.
Well, it says simply take off 30 degrees Fahrenheit value and then half that number.
And you get a rough one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Trying it this way now.
I think it's working. I don't hear any feedback.
That's good. That's good. Hi, how's everyone doing?
Doing great.
Doing fine.
Yeah?
Freezing.
So what's the weather like there? You guys freezing your ass off over there too?
No, it's about 10 degrees centigrade and it's drizzly. I went for a walk earlier and just got a bit wet. My feet got a bit wet, but no, it's fine. It's nothing. We had snow last week though. That was good. But no, pretty much getting back to normal now.
Oh, jeez. So Dave Peterson says it's -10 for him, and Vlad is -13. Oof, I'm feel bad for you guys. I'm so sorry. You know what you guys need? You guys need to get you a crock pot. Go get some apple cider. Get some cinnamon. Go ahead and make yourself some apple cider warmed up. sit back, watch you a good movie, let the fireplace royal if you got one of those, and just freaking say, fuck it, I ain't doing shit for the rest of the day. That's what I would suggest doing.
Well,
I
I
say
got
that every morning.
There
Sounds
you
like a
go.
plan.
Right? Man, seriously. That sounds awesome. With a scroll with a good book or a movie or with your phone and watch some YouTube. Or, as a matter of fact, what you should do is do all that and then click on my channel and go back to some videos you haven't seen before. Go ahead and do that. That'll be all good.
So Kenny, what was going on earlier? Because you started a stream and it seemed a bit strange, and then I saw you had this stream, and I think you had another one as well. I was a bit
Yeah,
confused.
yeah. I'm testing this new software. Like I'm using StreamYard, but I'm actually
Yeah.
streaming off of Streamlabs OBS. And so it took me a minute to figure out how to get it done. Because when I went on the first time, I guess I pressed start a stream somewhere and I didn't even know it was streaming until I tried to start my second stream. Then I realized it, so I stopped the first one. Then I started the second one, and then I realized, well, wait a minute, I can't see the chat. So I had to try and figure out how to show the chat, and then that took a little bit, and then I started this one. So yeah, little trouble today.
Oh, weird. Seems to
Little
be okay
trouble.
now, though.
Yeah, it is. See, I got my little beer mug here next to your name right there. Nice little beer mug. And then when
Beer
people,
mug? What are you
when
talking about?
people, well, you're on, if you're on StreamYard, you're not going to see it. But if you're actually in the chat, you can see it.
Ah.
But yeah, so whenever someone subscribes, it should like give us a notification or give me a notification that they subscribed. So yeah.
So what if you're already subscribed? You need to unsubscribe and subscribe again.
No, you don't have to. It just lets people know when they subscribe. You don't have to do that,
Okay.
but yeah, just for new people that do subscribe. I'm almost.
So what are you guys talking about then?
We were talking about all kinds of stuff, man. It's just open, talking about anything. What's new over there where you're at? Anything new?
No, not really. We're still in lockdown, so I don't know how long that's going to last. Like another lockdown, so.
Oh, jeez,
yeah.
another lockdown. Jeez.
Yeah. Lost
Well,
count now.
Oh, I know, right? I don't think we've actually. There's some. I wonder. At least here where I'm at, we haven't gone back on lockdown yet. There's talks like a national lockdown, but I don't think that ever materialized. I don't know. We'll see. I think Biden's definitely gonna react a lot differently than Trump did. So it'll be interesting to see. I wouldn't doubt it if we didn't go on some sort of national lockdown, though. It wouldn't surprise me. I think it would be very unpopular, but it wouldn't surprise me if we didn't have one. I think that should have been something from the get-go, from the drop. Every other country did it, and it worked well for them.
Well, name one other thing he's done since the inauguration.
I haven't really been paying attention, so. I know. What did he do? He's getting us another check, right?
$600 less than what he said it was going to be, and he's trying to get it only for certain people.
Well,
Seem to have got on board a bit with the vaccines a bit more.
Doesn't make up for the tens of thousands of jobs that got lost with the pipeline and other that he put in place.
No, I agree. And here's the thing. I think with everything that's going on in the way our government is responding to all this, it's just going to make people more open to the ideas of the Democrats that are, opposed, that are pro-socialist, because they want, we're going to want what Andrew Yang wants, with a global $1,000 a month or whatever it is for the rest of your life, just because. What is it? I can't even think if there's a term for it. He wants I can't even think of it. But anyway, he's a proponent of that, and I think that's just going to make people want that more. So, what I'm hoping is going to happen is
but what people just don't realize is the government does not produce its own money; it's taxpayer money. The more people you get on free handouts, the less tax money that's going to be coming in, the less money we can afford to put out.
I agree, but I mean, what do you want people to wait until the government decides to fucking do something? What, we're going on 2 years now? and the government is still fighting over. They're not fighting over lockdowns. So no, we're not going to open everything up, but they're still fighting over whether we're going to get money or not. Eventually, people are going to get fed up, and they're going to be like, "Fuck it." If they don't get their shit together, they're going to get voted out, and next thing you know, we're going to end up with a more socialist government than maybe a lot of people would like, because of the government's ineffectiveness during a time of crisis. Either that, or we're going
Just
to
like
have a. Not like I said, I don't necessarily think that's a good thing, but I think that's what's going to end up happening. People are going to get sick and tired of it. But it could be good because it could also usher in different parties, and we can get out of this stupid ass two-party system that we're in, where they control everything, and we could get back to we the people running shit.
Well, it's definitely strengthened the argument in the Texas State Senate House for secession.
Yeah, but unfortunately, the Civil War pretty much made you cannot secede from a state. You can't do it anymore.
Yeah, they can.
Yeah. How are they going to stop us?
I don't know. Well, that's a good question, but I don't know. It's going to be interesting.
But if Texas does secede, I hope they build a great big Alamo, because the result will be the same.
No, I personally don't want the whole fucking everyone gets money for no reason, but I'm just saying that it's something that is going to be or could become a reality if the government doesn't get their act together. I'm not saying I endorse it. I'm just saying it could be a reality.
Yeah, and I don't want secession, but 20 years ago, when I first started hearing people talking about secession, I was like, you're smoking crack. Now it's like, damn, things keep going the way it is. Maybe it might be a reality.
Yeah, I don't, like I said, I'm not Democratic. I'm not Republican at all. I don't like either one of them. I think a lot of them have good ideas, and they both have bad ideas, and I'd rather not be one or the other, because they're both stupid, and they're both for themselves more than they are for the people, in my opinion. So I'm waiting for a better third option, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. I hope, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. Hopefully this bullshit that's going on will help us get there. But right now, no, they're both too out there for me personally. So, Laura, what's going on? What do you think? Do you think your government is handling the situation fine, or do you guys have complaints over there about your government, the way they're handling it?
Yeah, well, initially it handled it appallingly, but probably the only good thing is this year they seem to have got hold of it a bit better. They're really pushing out the vaccines, and I think we're leading Europe at the moment in the amount of vaccines that are being administered, and they've overshot their target. I think they're on to the over 65s now, and I can't remember. I think it was like 15 million they've done already, the first shots, and we're a country of about 70 million. So we're sort of getting there. And I know lots of people like my parents' age and that have had their first one already. It's just a kind of case of waiting your turn till you're called up to get yours.
Are you gonna get it?
Of course, yeah.
Hey Kenny.
Yeah.
I got to run, bud. Thanks for having me up. Weather's not going to get any better if I wait longer.
Okay. Thanks, Hank. Have a good one. Stay safe, man.
Yep.
Bye.
So, Gary, what about you? Are you going to get the vaccine when it's made available for you?
Yeah.
Think so? Okay, cool. I'm not quite sure yet, because I have like I have real bad allergies, so I don't know. I might be one of the fuckers that ends up being allergic to whatever they use, so I'm kind of worried about that. But that's the only thing. Other than that, I'll take it though. I'll probably end up taking it. A little worried that I might end up allergic to something. We'll see. What about you
I
guys?
know quite a few people that have had it.
Yeah, the only really bad thing I've heard about any of the vaccines is the one that I'm not sure which one it is, but it's one where you got to get two. that's the vaccine that's starting to have, there's not real bad side effects, but some side effects.
I think all of them you have to get to at the moment.
Yeah, and also there's they're discovering new strains of coronavirus, so and they're trying to get the current vaccines to help with those. So it's
you had
it's,
the UK strain, didn't you?
Yep. And there's also one in Africa that just showed up too. There's like 2 or 3 different strains that and I think most of the vaccines, I think the best is the Moderna, and I think it's only like 50% effective against the new strains. So they need some work.
I think most people I know have had the Oxford one.
Okay.
From what I remember.
Yeah, so what about you guys in chat? Who's going to get the vaccine? Is there anybody that's not going to get the vaccine? I'm just curious to see if there's anyone that's not. So I'm sure there's some. I wonder how many auditors you think are going to get it? You think they'll get it, or do you think? And Stella, for example, do you think he'll get the shot, or do you think he'll say, "You can't make me"? What do you think?
Auditors won't.
You think? So you don't think Ensemble will get it?
I think that people that don't want to wear a mask are not going to get the vaccine either.
No, of course not.
No, of course not. You're right. Yeah, if you don't wear a mask, more than likely, because you don't think it's real, so you're not going to get it. Absolutely.
Yep.
If anything, they're contributing to spreading it by going everywhere in all these places and that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Traveling around or whatever they do.
So Taka says he's getting it. Okay, good, Taka. I mean, at this point, like, even if you didn't get it and most of the world got it, would it really be that big of a deal if the anti-maskers didn't get it? I mean, because it would affect them and anyone who didn't get it. But I mean, for the people that do get it, they don't got to worry about it anymore. So, what's the point?
Well,
let them out, right?
It's more about the mutations, isn't it? It's more about the mutations. So the more people that have it, the less likely it has to mutate.
That's a good point. That's true. That's true. And it's interesting. Interesting thing is, I was worried that they might try and force it on people. They're not, which is good. So it's still a choice for everyone. So that's great.
Yeah.
So Randy says his wife already has hers. Right on, Randy. Vlad says, I'm not getting it even though it's real. So Vlad believes it's real, but he's not getting it. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm getting it. I probably will, but I don't know. We'll see. I'll cross that.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to get called up. I'm just waiting to get called up because people get letters or texts or whatever to book an appointment, and that's kind of how it works. I've been told that everyone that's got one so far, the whole thing has been quite efficient. They've gone in and they have to wait, I think, 15 minutes afterwards. And and the side effects, from a side effects point of view, I know a couple of people that have just felt a bit rough for a couple of days. Other people just got a sore arm. So, don't really seem to be an issue at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's where I'm at, Vlad. I don't think it's perfected yet either. But I know I'm at the point where it was rushed, so I don't trust it nearly as much yet. But we'll see. Now, Laura, how do you guys feel like the UK is handling the people who are out of work, and like how are you guys like giving like bailouts to people, or how are they handling everyone out of work in the economy and all that?
Okay, so what they did when we first went into lockdown is the businesses that had to close, they encouraged companies to furlough them, and they said that they would pay companies, the government would pay companies 80% of workers' wages or up to a certain amount a month. So it wasn't like a stimulus check like you guys had. It was kind of like the government paying the companies to pay the workers. And that's kind of how it works. And obviously people who have needed additional support, they did like rent freezes, banks did mortgage freezes and stuff like that. And companies sort of were a bit more lenient, like utility companies, with people's situations and things like that. People that had to completely isolate, they did, it depends where you lived in the country, they did sort of food drop-offs and stuff like that. And that was something that I was involved in when first went into lockdown. I was a volunteer to doing food parcel delivery from my local council. But I'm not really sure of the situation now because we're coming out a year out of lockdown. But for me, it's not been too different because I've just kept on working. So yeah. But no, I think it's been. Yeah. Sorry.
I was gonna say, so for people who are out of work, the government's pretty much paying
Yeah.
80% of their check or their income or something like that.
Their pay. That's how it was initially. I'm not sure what it is now, but that's what it was. They were so the government was paying the companies to pay the workers, and yeah.
That's gonna have been pricey. But yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I think it's a great idea, but God, that's must have been pricey.
Yeah, well, you know.
Well,
what
no,
else
yeah,
are they gonna do? Can't let people
agree.
starve.
I know, I agree.
Yeah.
And it seems like your government had a better handle on it than ours. And our government just said, nope, everything's shut down. They didn't worry about anyone's pay or nothing. Just bullshit.
Mm.
So they handled it a lot better than our government did. That's for damn sure.
Yeah,
That's
I guess
cool,
so. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, I don't know. I don't think that they were sort of like quick enough to sort of go down with the lockdowns. We're a little bit delayed with all that. But this year I've been quite impressed with how they've quickly rolled out the vaccines, and they're above their targets at the moment of how many people have had it. So that's quite good.
Yeah, absolutely. That's good. It's interesting to see how all the different countries are handling this whole situation, and it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how the history books show when this is all over and done with, which country handled it the best and which country handled it the worst. Interesting to see. Who was slow to react, who was quicker to react, and all that. And here's the thing: even if you're slow to react, if you come up with a better plan just throughout the whole thing, that evens it out. At least in my mind, it evens it out that you started out slow. But then again, this is something new. This is something that again we should have been prepared for. But
yeah, totally.
But what I mean, yeah, it's just one of those things. Like you would think the government, every government, the world government would have been like, well, what happens if there's some freaking disease that shows up that we don't know what to do with and it just starts killing people. Just think about this. What if it was more deadly than it was? We'd be all fucked. With how every government handled it, we'd be fucked if it was more deadly than it was. We're lucky that it wasn't nearly as deadly as, let's say, if it was something like the flesh-eating bacteria. Imagine if that got out wild. Oh man, whew. Don't even want to imagine that.
Unfortunately, though, it's I know a lot of people have had it, that have had like long-term side effects from it, especially people sort of like from their 50s upwards. So it's not just been the fact that they've got it; it's the sort of long-term impact that it's caused. I know a lot of people that still don't have their sense of taste and smell, or people that have had more serious issues and things like that. And so it's not always about the amount of people that died from it. It can be other things that might affect your life in a different way that you weren't expecting to, as well. Yeah, unfortunately.
Australia, Cliff is saying Australia is doing the same thing that you guys are doing.
Yeah.
No, I think pretty much state workers are getting paid here, at least in California. I believe a lot of state workers are still getting paid for. I think they did get furloughed, but I think if you're just like Joe Blow that worked at Animal Planet or wherever, you're not going to get paid because, unfortunately, the companies can't do it, and if the government doesn't step in to help them, they're not going to be able to.
Yeah, I mean, I work for my local authority anyway, so I'm quite fortunate that it's not affected me. But what they did was when things like libraries and leisure centres shut down, they redeployed those people to assist with the effort of getting food parcels out to people and things like that, and putting them into different roles. So they continue to get paid. They just might be doing a slightly different job to what they were doing as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Let's see.
But yeah.
So Gary, what's going on with you, man? How's are you guys still in lockdown where you're at, Gary?
No, they did. You know, when this all started up, they did that, and uh, for a while, and then they keep trying to relax it, and then something will happen, and then they'll do little minor ones, but not really severe.
Okay, cool. So do you think you guys need how are you guys' COVID cases? Are you guys still getting a bunch or
It comes and goes. They'll see a big spike, and then all of a sudden everything drops down. Then they'll see another big spike.
so are you guys are you out of work or are you working right now or
No, I'm retired.
oh you're tired so you don't got to worry about work anyway. Nice.
I don't give a shit.
Right on.
Well,
Like I
as
get my
long as
money
I get,
regardless.
as long as I get my Social Security, I give a crap.
There you go. Right on, right on. Well, there you go. You ain't got to worry about it at all. Nice.
But that is a good idea what they were doing over there where Laura is. I mean, like the people that are going to be affected the most are the people that are going to lose, who have lost their jobs, just outright. Well, just 80%. Well, if you can't cut back your budget down a little 20%, well, then you're in big trouble.
Yeah, it's not that they've also just encouraged companies not to lay people off, to keep them sort of still on roll, and that's how they sort of transfer that money to them. But I mean, even with that though, there's been massive impact with the retail sector. Lots of companies that were giants like 10, 15 years ago, a lot of people have been made redundant. They've just been closed for too long. So even with all that, it's major impact with that, and things like cinemas as well. It's just really tough. It's really tough. There's not really an easy way out of it.
Oh no, absolutely not. Like I don't think I've seen an open movie theater here in like a long time, and I honestly don't know when they're going to be able to get back to it either. I mean, you see, movies are still being released, but they're releasing them online, and you got to pay all this extra money just to see a movie online. And it's just, and to me, like I don't know if I want to do that because I like the whole movie theater experience. You go in there, especially in the new theaters now with all the nice, comfy chairs. You can lean back in, get your popcorn, watching on that big ass screen, the great sound. I like that whole experience, and I think it's. I don't know. I understand how dangerous it is, especially with COVID and all that. I don't know. I hope they get back to it. I hope when things die down, movie theaters will be able to reopen. I'm sure there won't be nearly as many because they probably won't be able to afford to open back up. But I just hope it's not a dying and lost business.
Yeah, some of our cinemas, what they're doing is they're not getting people coming in to watch the film, so they're using the space for different things like conferences and stuff like that. Because they're still having to pay a lot. That they're usually big sites, they have to pay a lot of rent on them, and they're just trying to use the space in a different way. So if people aren't coming in as much, they have to sort of think, what can we do?
Yeah.
What can we offer people for these spaces? So.
Absolutely, that's a good idea.
What's made a comeback are drive-ins.
Yes, drive-ins have made a comeback, which is awesome because drive-ins.
We've never
awesome.
had that here.
Drive-ins are great. I love drive-ins. Those are so much fun.
Yeah, that's not a thing here, really.
I'm surprised car hops haven't become more of a thing now too. They should.
Well, it's not a big thing in England because they drive on the wrong side of the road.
We're not as big into the cars here either, as well, and there's sort of like not as much space.
I bet you so has the car industry taken a big hit over there?
Oh, I wouldn't know about that.
Okay.
It's not really an industry I'm familiar with.
Okay. You'd think they would, because not too many people have a whole lot of money to buy cars. Like I'm sure the luxury liners are luxury companies are probably taking some hits. Liberty Bird is very early, so who knows what happened. But Bird said he would be interested in doing what? I don't know what they're talking about.
I know. I'm going to have to go, Kenny, but it's been lovely chatting with you and Gary.
All right. Have a good one.
Thanks for
Have a
coming
good
by.
evening.
Bye,
All
Laura.
right. Take care. Bye. Bye.
Yeah, okay, guys. I'm going to cut this one short. Thanks for joining me, Gary. It's been a lot of fun. Thanks,
Yeah,
everyone.
my pleasure.
I don't know if I'm going to do this again. I'll probably go back to the normal crap because it's just easier.
Really?
All right, guys. Thanks.
You tell me. I got to open a thing. What thing? What do me do? Open a window? Open a door?
Yeah, you got to open up a window in the chat. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. Please make sure you guys subscribe if you have not subscribed already. I should have a video for you guys tomorrow, so make sure you look out for that. All right, guys. Hope you all have a great day, and I will see you again.